So Casino Royale has turned into Casino Battle Royale out in Vegas. It's Wynn Resorts, owned by the magnate Steve Wynn, has just forcibly bought out its biggest shareholder. Wren Holdings been looking at this over the weekend. There's some crazy stuff out in the Wild West. What's going on there?
Well, this all stems back to a more than decade-long or a long-time feud between Wynn and his partner Okada.
There's a Japanese
pachinko king used to sell gambling machines to Wynn Resorts way back about a decade ago, and they founded Wynn Resorts together. Well, now Wynn has shot back at Okada, and Wynn Resorts board has accused him of being unsuitable to serve as a director or even to own stock.
So this all started, Okada drew first blood, as it were, kind of challenged this big donation, $135 million donation.
Gave $135 million to the University of Macau.
Okay.
Very big money.
Right.
And Okada said, hey, I want to see the documents. I want some answers on this because this looks fishy.
Right.
Wynn said, no way. You know, you've been mucking around in the Philippines. We don't like that.
He was worried about competition. He was worried about
competition.
You taking stuff he was learning at Wynn.
It's all about Southeast Asia now, all about the Philippines and Macau.
Right.
You know, big money, big resorts, big time bucks to be made.
Okay.
And of course, Wynn didn't like the fact that his partner, essentially from a long way back, was becoming a competitor in the Philippines.
So the big thing that happened here is he forces out Okada. He buys back this big stake, a couple $2 billion, at a huge discount.
Right.
And now Okada's going to presumably sue.
Okada's going to fight back and say, look, you can't do this to me. You have to give me some justification. You have to give me a chance to fight back and explain all this. You know, if there were improprieties, I can answer them. I will investigate them. But, I mean, lurking behind this whole thing is the federal anti-bribery laws, which can be very costly for any company that is found to make any kind of improper payments.
Very scorched earth tactic here by Wynn, then, because he's basically accusing someone on his own board of committing bribery.
Exactly.
And basically Okada has sort of insinuated something similar with the donation.
Yeah, Okada's first move, I mean, here's a guy who owned what was then $2.7 billion worth of stock, accusing his own companies implicitly of bribery violations. I mean, that's really sort of shooting himself in the foot. I mean, he's a shareholder. He's trying to bring down the company on bribery charges.
Well, the question here is really, you know, does the House always win, right? I mean, Steve Wynn in Vegas, in the company's incorporated in Nevada, he's taken this very unusual step of pushing off a guy on his board and buying out.
In the company's own charter, it says that it can do this to any director it finds or any shareholder it finds as unsuitable. In part, this is sort of the whole gambling industry regulation that you can't have sort of dodgy people lurking behind a casino.
Right.
So, but this is an unusually favorable provision in the sense that not only will Wynn buy out Okada at a 30% discount, he'll do it over 10 years, 2% interest. Bad deal.
Crazy terms. We'll leave it there. It's obviously going to rumble on for a while. We'll be back tomorrow with more Breaking Views.